Hey folks, Chambask here, bringing you another audio commentary. Today it's between Tyler and Thu. Um, Obviously it's a human versus elf game, and you can immediately see that Thu's sending out an early militia to probably try and aggro the creeps onto the Ancient of War. But I don't think it's going to work because Tyler's been prudent and built the Ancient of War quite far back, quite far away from the creeps, so he probably won't be able to aggro them. But he will still get his early farm up, his early scout farm in the base. So that's going to be quite good for him. And a very centered opening from through here. Obviously, your economy is hurt a tiny bit by not having that first peon go to gold, but otherwise the build stay the same, and it doesn't hurt you too much because all you really need for gold in the first couple minutes is just footmen, and they're not that much. And we'll probably see him putting down a farm here when, yep, there we go there. And obviously this is just so nice for scouting, and you can actually see the position of this farm is very nice as well, because it's not going to be possible to root or to put an Ancient of Wonders or to root an Ancient of War next to this farm. There's just not space on any side. There's nothing he can do really, and so this is going to mean that he's going to have scouting for a long time. And obviously you want to keep that farm up for as long as possible, even though it's pretty inevitable that in the late game it's going to go down. And also it will distract the warden as when it comes out for a second as well. You'll see the warden will just pop to the farm, and then it'll be rerouted to the creeps. And meanwhile, Archmage coming out for Thu, and he'll presumably militia creep this camp here, and then move on just to this camp just to get level 2 quickly. And he's actually sent his first footman out just to harass this wisp a bit. Just sort of when you don't have much to do, and you can see actually there's the warden getting pulled there back a second, then going. It's not a big deal, but if you're not paying attention, that can be quite bad. He's already started his creeping. It's not that hard to creep this camp as long as you have one wisp repairing your Ancient of War. And meanwhile, I imagine Thu's doing the same thing. Yes, he is. He's tanking obviously with his water elemental, and that's very important because if Tyler were to come and harass, you don't want to have many low hit point units, and by getting your water elemental to tank, obviously that's really preventing that. And then the rest of his tanking tends to go on militia, which will be behind this wall here. So really, without blink or something like that, it's not going to be possible to actually harass effectively. And the warden here just going to get level 2, and obviously great scouting provided by this farm will probably be for a while yet, because his Ancient of War is going to be producing archers rather than moving back towards the base. And if you take a look, level 2 now on the Archmage, and picking up a Gloves of Haste is probably not the best item, but it's a decent one. Meanwhile, the warden has got a Claws of Attack. Again, it's alright, but really on a melee here, probably would rather a circlet, something like that. And you notice Thu's just creeping really easy camps at this point. He's probably started his tech. Yeah, he has. He's clearly not going for an expo, and he doesn't want to waste resources on militia creeping, so he has to creep fairly simple things. But the same goes for Tyler, really. He can't really creep that much because he only has one Ancient of War down. Actually, he might have a... Yes, he does have a second one here. Just obviously walking to creep this camp here. And that's quite nice for him because it's going to mean that he's going to be able to produce archers steadily, which is very important against human. But meanwhile, he'll be able to Ancient of War creep a couple big camps at the same time. The Ancient of War has been scouted though, so we'll probably see some harassment by Thu whenever the creeping does start. And the Archmage does staff to the health fountain so it can creep a bit, but there are some archers here which might try and steal some kills. Obviously Thu won't be able to get the dragon at this point, but he'll be able to get everything else. And another staff here from the warden coming in, and probably just Shadow Strike. Shadow Strike's the Archmage, but it's level 3 now, so Shadow Strike not that effective, and the warden does get dusted, so it will have to run away. I'm not sure why it stopped there for a bit, just tried to hide, but another Shadow Strike on the Archmage, but I think this is sort of a waste of mana at this point. You'd probably better just do not do it, considering that he's right at a health fountain and he's level 3 and he's at mid health anyways. I don't think this is really going to come to anything. It's just going to mean that the warden's going to have to run away now. He does have a boots of speed, so it looks like he will be able to get away. And let's check the techs now. Just tech just starting, but early Hunters Hall actually. We might see a couple Hunters before lures, but Thu's tech is almost done. He has a tower, but he hasn't upgraded it yet. That's probably quite wise, because it doesn't look like there's going to be any pressure at this point. Meanwhile, Tyler forced to TP away, and the Archmage just finishing off this camp here, picking up a Ring of Protection. Really bad items, actually, in terms of drops. All three of Gloves of Haste, Slippers of Agility, and Ring of Protection are terrible in this situation, and indeed in many situations. Just the Archmage, it isn't a agility hero or a direct damage hero. You really don't need all that extra sort of armor or things like that either. Tyler, level 3 Warden, but having to creep quite simple camps still, and Thu's now picked up a Naga as well, and he knows that Tyler won't have his tier 2 up yet because of this farm, and so he's decided I think that this is going to be a good time to push, and just putting a couple free shots on that Warden as it runs away, but I imagine he's going to go to the base to attack. He does, actually level 2 Shadow Strike on a Naga could prove to be significant. Nagas have really low hit points, and level 2 Shadow Strike does do a fair bit of damage. And how's the tech going? Still not done yet, but Ancient of War now back in the base, and thus farm being taken out by archers, and I imagine the Ancient of War once it gets round. And the Warden going and hiding again, but actually one Shadow Strike went off on that Footman. I'm not sure that was a great choice, because it can just be micro to this health fountain. So I'm not sure these are the best uses of mana for Tyler, but it's alright. He might get a kill on this Footman, but it doesn't look like he will in the end. And meanwhile, this Wisp being chased by a Rifleman and actually not being attacked. I guess it's hidden by Fog of War. Yeah, it's actually very fortunate for Tyler. Thu wasn't actually watching when that happened. Just from a bit of multitasking and suffering as a result. And he does have a Blacksmith out, so we are seeing rifles now, and actually the long rifle upgrade as well. So we'll probably see quite a few rifles, maybe Rifle Caster, because there's only one Arcane Sanctum up. And Rifle Caster is pretty old school, but it does work pretty well against stealth, especially when they only are a couple bears, because you can just slow them really, and bears aren't that good when they're slowed, and if you don't have enough Dryads, which obviously Tyler won't for a significant while, you can't dispel the slow. And Panda out for Tyler now, and it's probably quite a good choice. No magic immune units yet, and lots of area of effect damage is always nice against sort of a large number of low hit point units, and especially Rifle Caster. And the Naga does go down, just very nice Shadow Strike and Breath of Fire there at the last second while staffing out. But the first Sorceress is out now, and the first Sorc is just worth its weight in gold, really. It's it can cast a couple slows, and if you cast those on selected units, then that's just so helpful. And Militia now coming in as well, so we might be seeing some sort of tower rush here. And this Ancient of War might go down now, but these Militia are really low just from a couple Breaths of Fire from the Panda. No more mana on the Panda for a third one, but Thu does now have a Spellbreaker, and he does have to run his Peasants back. They're just too low hit points, and too good defense by Tyler. Tyler just going, finally building a shop and picking up Moonstone and a Clarity, so that's very important, but this Clarity might get cancelled. Yeah, there it goes. And not looking too good for Tyler at this point. Archmage's full health level 3, whereas Warden's really low health. Did buy a mana potion, that's going to be quite useful. He does have one full Moonwell, but he probably will need a bit more Moon Juice, that's why I use this Moonstone. And again, Panda coming in, but just no mana on it. He really needs. This is a really mana-intensive hero combination, and there's not really that. He doesn't really have enough. And Warden getting slowed a bit by the Naga, but still running in because Thu changed his focus attempts, and just sort of a bit of hit and run by Tyler, trying to stall a bit while he builds some Dryads. His first 2 out yet, but I don't think he'll have Dispel at this point. No, he's actually building 2 more Dryads without Dispel. I think that's probably not too wise, because obviously between water elementals and slow. It's very important to have Dispel, although maybe he just is looking for the population at this point, because he doesn't have much in terms of an army. He's lost lots of his archers, and Naga's still quite low health, but you see he's transferred the boots, the gloves, and the staff. This is just because it's such a weak hero. you really want to have good mobility on it especially against things like the Warden. And meanwhile, lots of militia chasing down the low hit point Warden, but I think this is probably a waste of time for Thu, because he's never actually going to kill this Warden, because the Warden can just run faster away, and it's going to mean that these militia aren't going to be able to, aren't going to be in militia form. He's actually sending them back to his base rather than sending them to attack. So quite nice there by Tyler, wasting the militia's time a bit. And I think if the militia had come now, they probably could have set up a couple of towers in time. Whereas I think now Tyler might have enough in a minute to push back. He is getting Dispel now, or Abolish Magic, but and I think when he does get that, he'll be in quite a stronger position at least. It'll probably be quite even. Meanwhile, Thu sort of lightening the pressure now, probably going to go and creep maybe the shop here. And actually has one low hit point rifleman there and a half hit point footman, so you should probably pay attention. He probably just microed them back and didn't remember to send them. You should probably send them to the health fountain and actually bloodlust on the sorceress. You love to see things like that. Just obviously stealing it with a Spellbreaker,